$32 billion, evaporated in less than 48 hours. He wasn't a Wall Street shark in a suit. He was a math nerd in cargo shorts who played video games during pitch meetings. The world called him the next Warren Buffett. But behind the altruism was a lie. A secret backdoor aimed straight at your wallet. This isn't just a bankruptcy. This is the story of the greatest financial fraud of our generation. Welcome to the collapse of FTX. Before the fall, Sam Bankman-Fried was the ultimate anomaly. He wasn't a greedy banker. He was an MIT graduate who worked at Jane Street. He discovered a glitch in the global market called the Kimchi Premium. Bitcoin was more expensive in Japan than in the US. Sam simply bought low and sold high, moving millions of dollars a day. It was free money. And just like that, the legend of the boy genius was born. Sam's brand was built on a philosophy called effective altruism. He claimed he wanted to get filthy rich only to give it all away to charity. He slept on beanbags in the office and drove a Corolla. But while he preached modesty to Congress, privately, he was spending over $300 million on luxury real estate in the Bahamas for his friends and family. The humble genius was actually a king living in a castle. Here is where the crime begins. FTX was supposed to be a safe vault for customer funds. But Sam had another company, a hedge fund called Alameda Research. When Alameda made bad bets and lost money, Sam secretly programmed a backdoor in the FTX code. This allowed Alameda to borrow unlimited funds from FTX customers without anyone knowing. They were gambling with money that didn't belong to them. To keep the money flowing, FTX needed more than just investors. They needed the masses. They launched a psychological warfare campaign based on FOMO, the fear of missing out. They spent hundreds of millions of dollars on sponsorships that defied logic. They bought the naming rights to the Miami Heat Arena for $135 million. They paid Tom Brady and Gisele Bündchen a fortune to tell you that crypto was safe. They even ran a Super Bowl ad starring Larry David, explicitly mocking anyone who didn't invest. The message was dangerous but effective. If you weren't on FTX, you were losing. And millions of ordinary people listened, pouring their life savings into a black hole. The house of cards didn't just fall, it evaporated. It started on November 2nd, when a leaked document revealed that SBF's trading firm, Alameda Research, was insolvent and holding billions in FTX's own token, FTT. Then came the kill shot. The CEO of rival exchange Binance, CZ, tweeted that they were dumping all their FTT holdings. Panic spread instantly. In a classic bank run, customers rushed to withdraw $6 billion in just 72 hours. Sam frantically tweeted FTX is fine, but behind the scenes, the vault was empty. There was an $8 billion hole in the balance sheet where customer money should have been. In less than a week, a $32 billion empire went to absolute zero. The party in the Bahamas finally ended with a raid on the luxury Albany resort. Sam Bankman-Fried was extradited to the United States, stripped of his wealth, and put on trial. His own inner circle, including his ex-girlfriend Caroline Ellison, testified against him, revealing a culture of reckless gambling and fraud. The jury didn't buy the accidental mistake defense. He was found guilty on 7 counts of fraud and conspiracy. The boy who wanted to save the world was sentenced to 25 years in federal prison and ordered to forfeit $11 billion. FTX serves as a brutal reminder. In the unregulated world of finance, if a story sounds too good to be true, it's usually a crime. But the story didn't end with the arrest. The trial revealed secrets that were stranger than fiction. It wasn't just financial fraud, it was a complete collapse of corporate controls. Enter John Ray III. He is the legendary lawyer who was brought in to clean up the mess of Enron, the biggest corporate bankruptcy in history until now. When he took over FTX, he issued a report that shocked Wall Street. He famously stated, "Never in my career have I seen such a complete failure of corporate controls and such a complete absence of trustworthy financial information as occurred here." Think about that. The man who saw Enron said FTX was worse. There was no accounting department. Expenses were approved with emojis on chat apps. The company, worth billions, was run like a high school project by kids on amphetamines. And then came the betrayal. Sam's inner circle, Gary Wang and Caroline Ellison, didn't protect him. They turned on him immediately to save themselves. Caroline, the CEO of Alameda and Sam's former girlfriend, took the stand and wept. She detailed how they used encrypted messaging apps like Signal to hide their communications, setting messages to auto-delete after 1 week. She admitted that the borrowing of customer funds wasn't an accident. It was a feature designed into the system from day one. While investors lost their life savings, the bankruptcy lawyers are now the ones getting rich. They are charging over $1 million a day in legal fees to untangle this web of lies. In the end, FTX wasn't a bank and it wasn't a tech company. It was a digital hallucinations fueled by greed and sustained by the silence of those who knew better.